Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new around here, I'm Rebecca, the Rebecca behind Rebecca Yates, and we make personalised stationery, prints and accessories to encourage and inspire. On our YouTube channel you'll find videos like this with lots of tips and tricks and inspiration, and also all the behind the scenes of me and my mum Lynn running the business. If you want to see like behind the scenes of what it's really like, then definitely check out those videos as well. You can also follow us on Instagram, and I'll always pop my website below as well if you're a stationery addict and you need your next fix. So today we are going to talk about my favourite topic, which is journaling. And I absolutely love journaling for so many reasons. I'm so excited to share this with you today, because if you are thinking about starting a journal, or maybe you've like tried it in the past and you've struggled to make it a habit, this is going to be so great for you. I'm going to share so much advice on how to get started, how to make it a habit, and crucially all the different things you can write about. So if you've journaled for a while as well and you just want some inspiration, this video will be great for you as well. You can also download my 50 free journaling prompts on the link in the description below if you want some new ideas and fresh things to write about in your journals. So let's dive straight into this video. So I just want to start, before I get into like how to journal and all of that, with just a little reminder of why it's so important and what you can really get out of it. So like any mindfulness technique, like meditation, journaling really helps you to like calm down all the chaos that may be going on in your mind, like quieten down all of that internal chatter and helps you focus on a single thought. And this is so beneficial to our general well-being and mental health. What you actually can get out of journaling depends on what you decide to write about, whether that's gratitude to make you feel better, or more inspiration to help achieve your goals. Like, there are so many different things that you can get out of this, which we're going to cover in the journaling prompts and ideas a bit later. But I do want you to know and take away this, if you take away nothing else from this video, that whether you journal for 5 minutes or 15 minutes every single day, you're going to get something good out of it. It's not ever going to be time wasted, because like I say, like any of that sort of mindfulness technique just helps to calm down all that internal chatter. So it's such a good practice for you to get into. So next I want to talk about what you need to get started, and obviously you need a journal. Now I definitely recommend get yourself a new book and literally only use it to journal in, because you don't want your journal to be mixed up with your to-do lists and all the other random stuff you'll have in your notebook. So here I've got a couple of Rebecca Yates London ones. I hope you don't mind this little mini sales pitch I'm inserting here, but you know, we are a business, so, and we make great stationery. So for example, I've got here one of our Lunar journals. This is a hardback journal. You can personalise these, by the way, with to any text you like. We've got loads of different designs. Choose your different cover, choose your foil. We also have a softback option that has slightly different binding to it, and has also got different designs as well. This is my absolute favourite. It's our Zodiac journal. Absolutely love this one. I've got a lot of stationery, as you might imagine. Of course, you can use any journal, plain or lined paper. It's completely up to you. The one thing I will say to look out for is your paper thickness. So if you've seen one of my videos before, you'll know I'm a bit of a paper thickness snob, but I've got to tell you, there's like nothing worse than if you're writing in a journal and then you look over the next page and all of your ink has come through. So once you start picking up on paper quality, it's one of those things you can't really unsee. So look out for something that's got at least 100 GSM paper thickness. It should be listed as part of a product description, or it should say on the packaging if you're looking in store. So that's one thing I'd say to look out for. When it comes to what to write with, any writing instrument will do. Pen, pencil, whatever you're most comfortable with is great. So get yourself something you're comfortable working with. If you want to take it to the next level, of course, go wild. Coloured pens, coloured pencils, gel pens, Spelly gel pens, anyone remember those from school? Anything you want. I've just started to get really into decorating my journals inside with stickers, like decorating gratitude lists and things like that, which can also be like a really nice touch, but it's completely up to you. So we've talked about why it's important and how to get started. I'm now going to talk about what to actually write about, because I know it can be so overwhelming when you look at a journal page and it's just like blank and your mind blank and you think, oh, I don't know really what to write about. So I'm going to share with you some of my favourite techniques. The first one is really simple. It's just gratitude and gratitude lists. So this is something I personally do every single morning, is write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. It's so good at just setting you up for the day, like getting you into like a good mindset, and it's just like a really nice, super simple thing you can do to get started. I also like to write myself a preemptive gratitude every day, which is to say something that you're grateful for which hasn't necessarily happened yet. So maybe it's something you're hoping to do in that day. So for example, this morning I might have said, I'm really grateful for shooting a great YouTube video, or something like that. Or I'm really grateful for showing up with lots of positive energy and for handling stressful situations with grace. Something about the way that you want to show up or something you want to achieve in that day. And just saying it as like a preemptive gratitude, it's like it's accepting that it's already happened. Is again just like this really fun, like great mindset shift to be into. You can also do a gratitude list on a night if you prefer doing it that way. Again, whatever works for you. The second thing you can do in your gratitude journal is to celebrate your wins or your progress towards your goals. So earlier on I said that journaling is a great way to actually stay motivated to achieve our goals, and one of the best ways to do this is just by celebrating your wins and making a log of like things that you've been successful, whether you beat your personal best time on a run, or you had a success at work, or something else something else brilliant happened. Whatever it is, just write it down, celebrate your wins. It's a great thing to do because then you can like look back on it. So at the end of the week, when you're thinking about, oh, I've actually made any progress towards this goal, you've got a great log there of actually all the progress that you have made. Our brains tend to focus on the negative. So celebrating your wins and just writing them down, reminding yourself that you're making progress. Sorry, I'm being super distracted because I can see my neighbour through the window and they're wearing something sparkly. Anyway, slide. Number 3, reflecting on what you've learned during that day. This is another great one you can do at the end of the day, and just like a really reflective prompt that you can just have a think about, you know, what have I learned today from my experiences at work, in any sort of area where you're focusing on. If you've got a particular area where you've got where you're focusing a lot of your personal development, this can just be a really great thing to do. Often we are so busy going from thing to thing to thing to thing, we don't really take stock and we don't take time to reflect and like decide like what we can learn from a situation, good or bad. It's not about beating yourself up and being really hard on yourself. It's just being about like being really honest and saying, you know, this happened, what can I learn from it? Whether it was a good thing or a bad thing. One of the things I've started doing as well each morning is do some reflection on what I've read. So I'm a bit of a personal development junkie, as you might guess, and every morning for 20 minutes I read. I've got an absolute stack of books, whether it's about developing good habits or mindset. I'm always reading something, and I find it really useful to just like reflect on what I've just read, because sometimes it doesn't really sink in properly, and thinking about, you know, having to think about what your key takeaways from what you've just read, what you're going to take forward into your day, can be really good way of like cementing some of the lessons and the things that you've just learned. So tip number 4 is to free write. Now I know this might sound a little bit daunting, but this is a great technique that just allows you to just get out whatever's buzzing around in your head and get it down on paper, which often just makes us feel so much better. So all you literally need to do is put pen to paper and just write about whatever comes up. Whatever's like going on in your head, just pop it down on paper. And sometimes you might not write very much. It might just be a couple of sentences. There might not be really anything you want to write about. But other times you might find that you're writing quite a lot, like a couple of pages on something. And it always helps to kind of get this stuff down on paper, because sometimes like things can seem massive in our heads, like really like something's really bothering us, and it's like, you know what, it's like big thing, and as soon as we get it down on paper, like it takes all of its power away, and it just feels like a lot smaller and more manageable. There are of course loads of other things that you can write about in your journal, so that's why I put together the 50 journaling prompts. So if you're in need of some more inspiration or just want to mix things up a little bit, maybe you've tried some of these techniques and want to try something else, getting some journaling prompts can be really helpful. So you can get those for free on the link below in the description. So the more you journal, the more you're going to get out of it, and the more consistently you journal, the better. So next I'm going to talk to you about how you can make journaling a bit more of a habit, and particularly if you've struggled to like integrate it to your routines before. So one of the key things here is to not put too much pressure on yourself. If you miss a day, it doesn't mean that you've failed or anything like that, which is why I think it really helps to keep it simple, especially to start off with. So you might want to pick something to do as a bit of a base, and then if you do extra and if you feel like doing a bit more, then you can. So the idea of doing 3 gratitudes is a really good one to start you off on, because it's just really simple. It's just a list of 3 things every single morning. So keep it simple for yourself. My second tip is to integrate it into your already established routines. So looking at your morning or daily routine, is there a time where you think, oh actually, you know what, I could fit in some journaling then, that would be perfect. For example, like, do you have a few minutes on a morning where you wait for your tea to brew or make your coffee? That could be a great time to fit in a little bit of journaling. So have a think about your daily routine already and where you could fit it in. Tip number 3 is to make it really easy and really obvious for yourself. So if you are going to journal before you go to bed, then maybe keep your journal on your bedside table alongside a pen. Make it easy for yourself. Don't have to go hunting for a pen every time you want to journal. Make it really easy and obvious. We respond well to like visual cues like that, so it's, you know, if you are sort of journaling just before you go to sleep, that's a great place to have it. Or you could keep it on the table next to the chair where you always sit to journal. Think about where you're going to keep your journal. If it's in a cupboard somewhere, which I know sometimes we want to lock our journals away, I get that, but if you're going to make it really hard for yourself to actually start the practice, and you haven't got like a visual reminder, that can make it a bit more difficult. Tip number 4 is to do it regularly and make a plan. So make a promise to yourself of the time, location and date that you are actually going to do your journaling, when you've decided where it's going to fit in with your routine, and write it down. We're much more likely to do something if we actually make a plan to do it and we make a promise to ourselves to do it, rather than just saying I'm going to start a journaling practice and, you know, not actually holding ourselves to account for anything. So do it regularly. You can also set a reminder on your phone, which will help to remind you to actually go and journal. And, you know, don't put too much pressure on yourself, like I said at the start, to write pages and pages. If you literally just sit down and write a couple of sentences, that's way better than nothing. If you're doing that regularly and writing like little and often is basically what I'm trying to say here. So do it regularly so that it becomes ingrained, it's a habit. It can take, research has found, 66 days to form a new habit. So if you've done that regularly for a couple of months, like that habit is going to be really ingrained. And that's literally it. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like more, definitely download the 50 journal prompts below. And of course, check out our amazing stationery range at www.rebeccayateslondon.com. So let me know how you get on in the comments below. If any of this resonated with you, what are your favourite journaling prompts, techniques? Share them below too so other people can learn from you. I would absolutely love to hear how you get on and how you are enjoying journaling. And I look forward to seeing you all very soon.